Another day at E46 life. So just want to show you, you can hear the Disa valve is noisy. That's going to have to be replaced. Just finished putting fan clutch and blades on it, because here's the second fan clutch in over a year, brand new from the dealer, that blew out on the freeway. All right, back at the 2005 ZHP yesterday after putting on the fan blades, which had got destroyed, running it, and noticed the Disa valve was making a bunch of noise. Now, this is misdiagnosed all the time as a valve rattle, as some sort of timing chain rattle, and what it is something you have to be very careful of. Here's the old valve. I went to the junkyard, picked up a new valve. Yes, junkyard, because these things fail all the time. I know what I'm looking for, and I can always find a good one. So here's the old valve, and as you see, there's no rattle to it. The door is springing like it should, but look at this. You see this pin? That falls into the motor. So we caught it before it fell into the motor, because it sits here and rattles. This is the rattling you're hearing, is that these pins come out. There is a fix for this. Luckily, we were able to catch this one. No force at all. This thing falls out. This valve is not that old. I want to say this valve was changed about, I don't know, 6 years ago. I put this one in. But I found this one at the wrecking yard. The pin is not coming out, hasn't rattled out yet, and it's a fairly new Valco valve. As you see, there's no name on this one. So this one has been replaced. You can see the seal is in very good shape. This seal is already flat. So, and silicone's been added to this because I pull out this valve a lot, so I always put a touch of silicone on it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this one put back in. Definitely make sure, if the pin is not here and there's a hole there, make sure you look in the intake, because this can destroy your whole motor. So we're gonna get to putting this back on, run it, and see if the rattle's still there. We'll be right back. All right, just fired it back up. I'll put a clip in from yesterday on how noisy that thing was. Another day at E46 life. So just want to show you, you can hear the Disa valve is noisy. That's going to have to be replaced. Nice and quiet now. So whenever you hear that rattle, stop driving. Pull out the valve and inspect it. It'll cost you, if you keep driving it, it will cost you a motor. That piece will go into the motor, get stuck into a valve, maybe hang up a valve, hit a piston, break a piston, motor's done. So whenever you hear that noise, shut it off, change out your Disa valve, D-I-S-A. Nice and quiet. Now the ZHP's back on the road. So I'm gonna finish up the wagon. The center console, got to finish doing that stuff, but ZHP's ready to go. Just a part of owning old cars is that you definitely have to do some maintenance. And the wrecking yard was 30 bucks for that part. So $3 to get in, $30 for the part. But there we go. These cars are all in the wrecking yards right now. So anything you need for your E46, definitely go hit up the LKQ, pick your parts, any of those. They're everywhere. Any trim panels, anything you have broken, they're crushing these cars left and right, grabbed the good parts off of them. I even found a wagon over there, and I picked up some parts for my wagon. Just spare parts for like the hatch, stuff that's not, stuff I can't get off a regular E46. All right, got it down to the local hand wash and got the engine all cleaned up. As you hear, it's running. The only way you can tell is by the fan. But you can tell by the fan, it is running so much smoother now. No warning lights. 2005 ZHP. Pretty rare car. That's why I keep up with this. Keep up with all my cars. Somebody was asking if I had H&R springs. I do not. I have coilovers. My son's back there cleaning the ZHP wheels. But for the most part, Tully makes the racks for BMW. So as you notice, I do have Tully. And on my other car, the BMW stuff slides onto the Tully racks. But there we go. She's all cleaned up. Just hitting 198,000 miles right now. And yes, I did rebuild the motor. I showed this during COVID in 2020. I pulled the motor out, pulled the crank out, sent the crank out. New mains, rods, all that stuff. Had to have the crank turned because it ended up with a slight rod knock, lack of oil changes from the previous owner. But she's been running good. 30,000 miles on the rebuild now. And all the suspension's been rebuilt. Rear end, polyurethane bushings. All cooling system has been replaced. Anything that was plastic or rubber, I replaced. So, bought everything from basically factory parts, except for the coilover kit. But there we go. Nice and clean ZHP. Running tops.